Welcome to SATV News. This is Xiaomin with our headlines. Inkilab Moncho leader Osman Hadi shot in health in Polton. Rush to DMCA. CA Yunus orders swift action to bring attackers. BNP condemns attack on Hadi, demands quick arrest of attackers. Jamaat chief expresses deep concern over shooting. And Asif Mahmood announces independent candidacy for Dhaka 10, made the announcement on Facebook. Now in details. Sharif Osman Hadi, the spokesperson for Inkilab Moncho, has been shot in the head by unknown assailants on motorcycles in the capital's Polton area, according to police and witnesses. Hadi was rushed to Dhaka Medical College Hospital Emergency Department following the attack, which took place sometime after the Jummah prayers this afternoon, said witness Rohim Patwari. Rohim, the publicity secretary of Shomik Odhikar Parishad's Dhaka Metropolitan South Unit, started live streaming on Facebook at 2:23 p.m. showing an unconscious Hadi in a bloodied state carried by two men on a rickshaw, being taken to the hospital. Rohim was heard saying Hadi, who was poised to contest the 13th national polls from Dhaka 8 constituency, was in a critical condition. We have learned that he was shot near the Bijoy Nagar Pani Tanki area. He has been shot in the head. We are trying to learn more details. Deputy Commissioner Masood Alam of Dhaka Metropolitan Police Ramna Division told the journalist. Shahabag Police Station Officer in charge MD Muniruzzaman also said that they have heard about the incident, but he could not say where it happened at the time. He, however, added that they have sent police personnel to DMCH. Chief Advisor Mohammad Yunus has expressed deep concern over the shooting of Inkilab Moncho spokesperson and Dhaka 8 independent aspirant Sharif Osman Hadi, who was critically injured after armed assailants opened fire on him in the capital's Polton area today. He issued strict orders to law enforcement agencies to launch a swift and comprehensive investigation, identify everyone involved in the attack and bring them to justice, reads a statement from the CA's press wing. He has directed investigators to immediately collect evidence from the crime scene, take statements from eyewitnesses, review CCTV footage and determine whether the assault was part of any organized plot. BNP Secretary General Mirza Fakhrul Islam Alamgir has condemned the shooting of Dhaka 8 independent candidate Sharif Osman Hadi, saying there are no words to denounce such an incident in the heart of the capital. When the entire nation is preparing for the election, there are no words to condemn this incident that took place in the very center of Dhaka. I wish him a quick recovery, he said in a statement on Facebook today. Fakhrul urged the interim government and relevant authorities to take firm action to curb criminal activities like this. There is no place for political violence in a democracy, not now, not ever, he said, adding that regardless of ideology, anyone resorting to intimidation or force must be collectively rejected. Bangladesh Jamaat-e-Islami Amir Shafiqur Rahman has expressed deep concern over the shooting of Sharif Osman Hadi, spokesperson of the Inkilab Moncho in the capital's Polton area today. Hadi, who was poised to contest in the upcoming national polls from Dhaka 8 constituency, is currently undergoing treatment at the emergency department of Dhaka Medical College Hospital. In a statement this afternoon, Shafiqur said that violence stemming from political rivalry or differences of opinions is never acceptable. He called for a swift, impartial and transparent investigation into the incident and prayed for Hadi's complete recovery. The party intends to move forward with a sound and realistic political plan, rather than emotion, in the lead-up to the upcoming 13th National Parliament election, BNP Standing Committee member Salahuddin Ahmed said. He said the successful declaration of the permanent journey of democracy has occurred through the scheduled announcement. What is needed now is well-planned politics and an organized role. Salahuddin made the remarks today at the inauguration ceremony on the 6th day of the BNP's 7-day program titled planned for nation building at the Krishibid Institution Bangladesh KIB Convention Hall in the city. The senior BNP leader said the July uprising was not a sudden outburst but the culmination of a prolonged democratic movement from 2009 to 2024. We had to shed so much blood, countless sacrifices were made. We snatched the victory of democracy by stepping over this pedestal of blood, he added. He further said the people have accepted the party's 31-point outline as a charter for national liberation. The 31-point outline, formulated together with the allies of the simultaneous movement, has now found its place in the democratic epic of Bangladesh, he said. Salahuddin said that at one time attempts were made to use the political manipulation of religion and the spirit of the 1971 Liberation War as a tool to serve partisan interests in the country. Those who sought to survive by politicizing the spirit of 1971 are now completely unsuccessful, he asserted. Citing a white paper, the BNP Standing Committee members said that approximately 29.25 lakh crore taka was laundered during the Awami League government's tenure. Awami League created a grave for the country. They also constitutionally buried democracy, he said. He further added, democracy will be wounded if we forget the incidents of the past disappearances, killings, torture, and human rights violation. Let's not forget those who shot student masses from helicopters and committed enforced disappearances, murders, and corruption. Salahuddin said people across the country are now highly aware, signaling the end of political maneuvering through the incitement of religious sentiment. One cannot ask for votes by selling the peel of religion, he said. Asif Mahmood Shajib Bhuiya has announced that he will contest the upcoming 13th National Parliamentary election as an independent candidate from Dhaka 10 constituency. He made the announcement in a post on his verified Facebook page at 11:51 a.m. today. Asif, previously at the helm of LGRD and Sports Ministry, handed his resignation from the advisor post to Chief Advisor Professor Mohammad Yunus on December 10th. On November 9th, Asif registered as a voter under the Dhaka 10 constituency. Originally from Kumilla, Asif joined the interim government as a student representative on August 8 last year. He was one of the frontline coordinators of the anti-discrimination student movement, the platform that led the July mass uprising. He enrolled in the linguistic department of Dhaka University in the 2017-18 academic year and completed his undergrad degree there. He was involved in the politics of Chhatra Adhikar Parishad. Later in 2023, when a fraction of the council formed a new student organization named Ganotrantik Chhatra Shakti, Asif was one of the initiators. He served as a convener of the Dhaka University chapter of that organization. Most of the frontline leaders of the July uprising came from this group. 2-year-old Sajid, who died after falling into an abandoned deep tube well in Tanori Upazila of Rajshahi, was buried at a family graveyard on Friday morning. Maulana Mizanur Rahman led the janaza held at Koelhat village, after which the child was laid to rest. From early morning, villagers in large numbers gathered at the funeral ground number 1 in the community and broke into tears at the sudden death of the child. On Wednesday afternoon, Sajid slipped and fell into a hole covered with straw while walking with his mother in front of their house. The hole turned out to be the mouth of an abandoned deep tube well. After a rescue operation that lasted 32 hours, he was pulled out on Thursday night. Physician at Tanori Upazila Health Complex declared him dead upon arrival. Speaking at the janaza, Sajid's father, Rakibul Islam, urged everyone to pray for his son. He told reporters that his son died due to others' negligence and demanded justice from the authorities. Locals said a man had attempted to install a deep tube well at the site last year, but abandoned the work after digging up to 120 feet without finding water. The open pit was left exposed and later widened by rain, leading to the tragic accident due to the lack of any warning or cover, they alleged. We are taking a short break. Please stay with us.
সারা দেশে লাখো মানুষের কঠোর কর্মতৎপরতা ও নিষ্ঠায় SA পরিবহন পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস এখন 16 কোটি মানুষের হাতের নাগালে। দীর্ঘ 30 বছর ধরে বিশ্বস্ততা ও দ্রুততার সাথে সেবা দেওয়ায় গ্রাহক সেবায় এখন শীর্ষে। বাংলাদেশে গ্রাহক সেবার সাফল্যের পর SA পরিবহন পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস এখন বিশ্ব বাণিজ্য কেন্দ্র সিঙ্গাপুরে। আপনার যে কোনো পণ্য সিঙ্গাপুর থেকে বাংলাদেশে বুকিংয়ের জন্য যোগাযোগ করুন। SA পরিবহন প্রাইভেট লিমিটেড, লজিস্টিক্স পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস, 22 রবার্টস লেন, সিঙ্গাপুর 218302। ফোন 0065 629 24900। বাংলাদেশ থেকে সিঙ্গাপুরে পণ্য বুকিংয়ের জন্য যোগাযোগ করুন ঢাকা সহ দেশের যে কোনো 80টি শাখা কেন্দ্রে। SA পরিবহন পার্সেল অ্যান্ড কুরিয়ার সার্ভিস, আপনার সেবা সব সময়।
Welcome, Grand Palace Hotel, Dhaka. A majestic lobby blending timeless elegance with modern design. Experience 5-star comfort in suites and rooms.
Welcome back. You're watching SATV News. Now news from abroad. Japan issued a tsunami advisory today after a 6.7 magnitude earthquake shook the country's northeast, according to the Japan's meteorological agency. The quake occurred off the east coast of Omori Prefecture in the north of the Honshu, the main Japanese island, at a depth of 20 kilometers at 11:44 a.m. local time, JM said. The Pacific coast of Hokkaido, Omori, Iwate and Miyagi prefectures could see a tsunami of up to 1 meter, the agency added. Damage and injuries weren't immediately clear. An advisory is a lower level of caution than a warning. Today's quake followed a 7.5 magnitude earthquake earlier this week in the north that caused injuries, light damage and a tsunami in Pacific coastal communities. Four young men in Afghanistan were detained by the Taliban and put into a rehabilitation program for walking around in public dressed as characters from the popular British drama Peaky Blinders. Officials from the Taliban government's Ministry for the Promotion of Virtue and Prevention of Vice said the men who had become popular in their local Jibril township in the southern province of Herat for strolling through the streets in trench coats and flat caps were retained for promoting foreign culture. Safiur Rahman Khyber, a spokesperson for the ministry, said in a social media post that the men were taken into custody and enrolled in a rehabilitation program for imitating Western film characters. We are Muslims and Afghans. We have our own religion, culture and values. Through numerous sacrifices, we have protected this country from the spread of harmful cultures, and now we are also defending it, he said. US President Donald Trump is extremely frustrated with Russia and Ukraine, his spokesperson said on Thursday, as Kyiv said Washington was still pushing it to make major territorial concession as part of his plan to end the nearly 4-year war. The president is extremely frustrated with both sides of this war, Caroline Levy told reporters. He doesn't want any more talk. He wants action. He wants this war to come to an end. Earlier, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky made the remarks that appeared to show little had changed in Washington's core position on how the conflict should end since it sent a 28-point plan to Kyiv and Moscow last month that heavily favored Russia. Zelensky said that Washington was still pushing it to cede land to Russia as part of an agreement to end the war that started with Moscow's February 2022 invasion. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said Thursday he had discussed U.S. security guarantees for Kyiv with top officials from the Trump administration a day after Ukraine submitted counter-proposal on a plan to end the war with Russia. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, and Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner were all on the call, as well as NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, Zelensky said. In the near future, there will be a clear understanding of the security guarantees, Zelensky said in a post on social media without providing details. Democratic lawmakers called for U.S. Homeland Security Chief Kristi Noem's resignation Thursday as she defended the Trump administration's mass deportation program at a very congressional hearing. "You promised America that you would go after the worst of the worst," Democratic Representative Chet Magaziner said. But the vast immigration crackdown launched under Republican President Donald Trump has swept up veterans of the U.S. military, their relatives, pregnant women, children, and even some American citizens, Magaziner said. "There are many problems with your leadership, but the biggest problem is you. You don't seem to know how to tell the difference between the good guys and the bad guys," he told the House Homeland Security Committee, hearing which was interrupted by demonstrators on several occasions. The Palance-ranking Democrat Beanie Thompson said Noem has diverted resources from critical homeland security agencies and programs to carry out an extreme immigration agenda. The man accused of killing right-wing political activist Charlie Clark appeared in person in the U.S. court for the first time on Thursday. Tyler Robinson looked on calmly as lawyers discussed procedural issues surrounding what is expected to be one of the most keenly watched trials in modern America. The clean-shaven 22-year-old wore a light shirt and a tie in Utah court. The judge ruled at an earlier hearing that he did not have to appear in court in prison garb. Clark was shot dead on a Utah college campus in September, sparking a wave of grief among conservatives and threats of a crackdown on the radical left from President Donald Trump. Following a massive manhunt, Robinson was arrested the day after the September 10 killing, when his family persuaded him to hand himself in because they had recognized him in photographs issued by the investigators. He faces the death penalty if convicted of aggravated murder. Authorities say Robinson shot Clark from a rooftop across the campus of Utah Valley University because of the influential activist view. At least 30 people were killed, including patients, after an airstrike by the country's ruling junta hit a hospital in Myanmar's western Rakhine State, according to a rebel group, an aid worker, and a witness. More than 70 people were injured, they said. The hospital in Rakhine's Meruk-Yu township was struck late on Wednesday by bombs dropped by a military aircraft, said Ken Thu Ka, a spokesman for the Arakan army, which is battling the ruling junta along parts of the coastal state. The Meruk-Yu General Hospital was completely destroyed, Ken Thu Ka told Reuters. The high numbers of casualties occurred because the hospital took a direct hit. The 300-bed hospital was overflowing with patients at the time of the strike, said aid worker Wai Hun Yang, as most healthcare services across swaths of Rakhine State have been suspended amid the ongoing fighting. The UN Human Rights Chief Volker Turk said such attacks may amount to a war crime and called for an investigation. A junta spokesperson did not respond to calls for comment. Myanmar has been gripped by conflict since the military suppressed protests against a 2021 coup that unseated the elected government led by Nobel laureate Aung San Suu Kyi. Before ending, we'll go to the headlines again. Inkilab Moncho leader Osman Hadi shot and held in Polton, rushed to DMCH. CAU News orders swift action to bring attackers. BNP condemns attacks on Hadi, demands quick arrest of attackers. Jamaat chief expresses deep concern over shooting. And Asif Mahmood announces independent candidacy for Dhaka 10, made the announcement on Facebook. You're updated with the top stories so far here on SATV, and to know the latest news, visit www.satv.tv. Stay with SATV.